If there's one thing that's considered a given at the end of each year, it's the images from across the world of flashy New Year's celebrations. And there is pride in being the ones to kick off the yearly affair.
And you know, on New Year's Eve, the world looks at Sydney every single year. And they look at our vibrancy, they look at our passion, they look at our success.
But for the last 3 months, Australia has been battling some of the worst bushfires in decades. The blazes are predicted to peak on New Year's Eve. Despite the grim forecast, the city of Sydney confirmed on Monday it would go ahead with this year's fireworks show as planned.
I don't remember a time when we've had total fire bans in place in the Greater Sydney region where we haven't been able to accommodate the risk elements for conducting the New Year's Eve fireworks in the Sydney Harbour area particularly. We just heighten our level of coverage to ensure a safe and effective New Year's Eve function.
The announcement that Sydney's fireworks display would still take place despite the bushfires has sparked outrage. 250,000 people signed a petition to scrap the celebration plans.
I think they should just ban it just for this year while this is all happening, because this is the first time that I've known that it's been like this in Sydney, and it's not going to be like that for next year. So you know what, just leave it a year and do it again next year.
While bickering over Sydney's fireworks continues, volunteer firefighters are battling the blaze with little success.
Well, for more on the bushfires, I'm joined now by journalist Roger Maynard in Sydney. Roger, bring us up to date with the latest.
Yeah, Helena, first, further details have emerged about that fatality earlier on today. The New South Wales Rural Fire Service has confirmed that one firefighter was killed and 3 others seriously injured when their trucks rolled during high winds at a place near Albury on the New South Wales-Victoria border. So that brings the total death toll so far during this bushfire crisis to 10. Of course, this will only add to the concern and the grief felt by many Australians as fires continue to rage along much of the country's eastern seaboard. The main focus of attention today has been on the East Gippsland area, which is to the east of Victoria or Melbourne, towards the New South Wales border, about 750 kilometres south of Sydney. Now, multiple fires have been raging there all day, and they're rapidly spreading across the region, prompting the evacuation of thousands of people, although many of them who are on holiday at the moment have decided to stay and take their chance with the weather. Temperatures, meanwhile, have soared to 40 degrees plus, and the fires have already closed many main roads. So an unfolding situation there, as it is in much of the rest of the country.
Roger, does Australia have the manpower and resources to deal with these new fires that you mentioned? Because, as you say, we've already seen so many volunteer firefighters involved.
Yeah, this is turning into probably the worst bushfire season that anybody can remember in Australia in terms of the scale and intensity of the fires. Thousands of firefighters are working around the clock to try to stop them from spreading, but there really is very little they can do ultimately. It's an almost impossible task. Here in New South Wales, there are 100 major fires still burning. Half of them are still out of control, and tomorrow looks like being the worst day of the fire season so far. We've got record high temperatures predicted, very strong dry winds, and fires have already started to break out to the south of Sydney, down on the south coast of New South Wales, where many people go for their holidays at this time of year. So, you know, right now the crisis is unfolding, and we probably won't know the full impact of the situation or the conditions until tomorrow.
As you mentioned, this is a key moment. Various planned fireworks in Sydney, they've been cancelled due to the bushfire threat, but not the world-renowned display at Sydney Harbour. How are authorities justifying this?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about cancelling the fires because, you know, it's not really a good look given that smoke haze has been blanketing much of New South Wales and Sydney Harbour for the past fortnight. But at the same time, the fireworks display on Sydney Harbour are a key major tourist event for Australia. 1 million people turn up around the foreshore of Sydney Harbour every year to watch the fireworks themselves. And also, the fireworks are seen by an estimated 1 billion on television sets around the world. It's a very, very important occasion. celebration. Yet at the same time, a lot of people feel that it's insensitive to have these fireworks at the moment. And, even the Deputy Premier of New South Wales tweeted today that we shouldn't take the risk, that this fireworks display should simply be cancelled.
All right, Roger Maynard in Sydney, bringing us up to date with the latest. Thank you.
Thank you.